So here we are, guys. Here we are. We are live on YouTube. No pressure whatsoever. We're on a different platform this week, and at the moment, it's just going to be myself and the Joker. So let's get stuck in. Welcome back to TNI UK Impacted, episode 211. That's quite a lot of a minute.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're going strong. So we're coming to you live via the Total Non-Stop Impact Network on YouTube and Twitch. And if you listen on the go, we are also available on SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you listen to your favourite shows. Now, as we've said, it's just myself, Limpstar, and Joker at the moment. We don't have Bison with us. He's not feeling too good. So, if we can send our love in the comments and that. Mia, you want Bison to give you a hell yeah at the moment? I think he's saying a hell no because he's not feeling too good. But Gibster, nice to see you, mate. Early doors. So yeah, I am joined by Joker. And how are you, mate? Are you doing good?
I'm good, thank you. How are you? I just thought I'd pop the chat onto overlay so everyone can see what everyone's talking to, but I will highlight comments. Well,
Yeah,
just
do you know what? That works even better as well. I like that because it saves everyone boom, 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 boom.
yeah,
Looking around.
those listening on podcasts and audio, we got a new studio up over the weekend, so I'm still learning everything about the stuff now. I've had a look at it yesterday. I had a look at it on Saturday and Sunday. Still learning some of the layout and everything. So, and we will be light on sound bites because there is no storage for them at the moment. So you're saved from a shred, whereas I'm saved from. Oh, I never got the one that I didn't want it to get done, did I? So I'm safe from that one for now. But
Right.
I'm
Okay.
sure we'll find some way. I'm sure we'll find
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
in the future. But we'll wait till the new year now until I can get sorted.
I mean, like with sound bites and stuff like that, it looks like we're just gonna have to sing the Joe Hendry theme tune and stuff
Yeah.
like that. At least we know that this whole episode is free from being demonetized or anything like that because there's no copyright infringement whatsoever. So, no, Paul, thank you for noticing I've not got a hat on. So, guys, please feel free to put on sunglasses. I'm in a different location today with like solid Wi-Fi as well, so I'm here for the whole thing. So you might want to buckle in. But yeah, so there's been a lot of talk about TNA, especially since Final Resolution and stuff like that. But my God, just the talk at the moment. I know we've got our little bits and stuff like that to talk about, and I'm probably jumping a bit too far ahead. But it looks like we're gonna have the good old TNA revolving door. Talk
Yeah.
about Kushida and Trent Seven and stuff like that going out the door. Man, it's one of these things, isn't it?
Oh
Um,
yeah. People are already fucking doom and gloom and all that crap.
yeah. It's always negative when they talk about TNA, isn't it? But
Yeah.
they forget that we're the ones who made them stars in the first place. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so let's have a little recap of the rumors and stuff. Early ticket sales looking good for Genesis, Rebellion, and Slammiversary TNA Plus specials this week. That's all good news that we got
Yeah.
tickets going out and stuff. But I'm really looking forward to Genesis.
Oh
Really
yeah.
looking forward to it. That promo that they've got for it, where they're saying the end is the beginning and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Do you know what I mean? It's pretty wild. I'm anticipating quite a lot. Are we going to find out who 23 is? Do you think?
Oh, we're gonna get we're gonna get a slight reveal on Genesis, and then we're gonna get their debut on the 23rd.
Right. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
similar to what we
Yeah.
did with Lei Ying and when Steve Macklin was, and when Joe
Yeah,
Hendry
yeah.
started to make his appearance again. They started off with vignettes and teasers, and then they just did a full "I believe in Joe Hendry," and then they did all the stuff with Ashley Vega and everything too.
Yeah.
So that was brilliant. But, they drip fed Joe Hendry and Kylan King and Steve Macklin slowly, and so I'm Kylan King's another one who might be coming back on November 23rd too. So that's another person that we've not mentioned, but who might be a possibility too. But I think it might be Baron
Yeah.
Corbin.
See, like I've said about Mr. Nemeth, I never dolphed with the Ziggler. I've never Corbined with the Baron either. Do you know what I mean? It's like like Mia's just said as well. Be who. I'm not too sure. I know so little about him. I remember seeing him as some kind of like gothic character, and then I've seen him in a suit and stuff like that. So I'm a bit. I don't really know his direction. I don't really know what he brings and stuff like that. So I'm not writing him off. I'm just saying that it's going to be a completely new talent to me. So where
Yeah.
you've got like Nick Nemeth and stuff, like I'm a Nick Nemeth fan because I've never seen him or paid attention to him before. Do you know what I mean? So with this Baron Corbin, if he comes in, what's he going to be called? Is he still going to be Baron Corbin, or is he going to be like Billy Corbana or something
Yeah.
like that? Do you know what I mean? Is he going to
Yeah.
carry that name? Who knows? But yeah, let's press on. So we've got Kushida,
Yeah.
Jade Chung, Rhino, and Trent Seven all finished up with TNA during the Atlanta tapings, with Josh Alexander looking at free agency, and Jordan Grace set to join WWE in February next year. So that's quite a chunk of talent. Quite a chunk of talent going out the door. Like, I heard something about Kushida might be taking an office job
Oh,
with.
yeah, there was rumors going around for some TNA groups that Rick Kushida might be going back to New Japan to do stuff in production and things like that.
Okay.
But I don't know how true that is. I think back then he's been wrestling for God knows how long. If you forget, he's a veteran of the ring. Although
See, he's got that baby face, isn't he?
yeah,
He's just like.
he's still so young, but he's got like years of experience behind him. It's just you forget that. So he might be taking a chill pill for a couple of years and then back into the ring again.
Yeah. So we've got Somerset Slammer saying there that we're getting rid of the dead wood.
Yeah.
Being a TNA fan is like living by a port in the Suez Canal. You get to see all the best ships. I like that. I do like that. I fully agree. Like we do get like a lot of talent come in and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
it's just I don't know. Like look at EC3.
Yeah.
We made him Ethan Carter, and look at his career like since and stuff like that. And he's been he was the NWA champion, wasn't he?
Yeah.
For a while. Like I'd love to see him back, but
I would.
how would you have him back though? Because you've got to remember that him and Moose binned the TNA title. Remember?
Yeah. Well,
TNA was Nemeth.
I would love to see him go up against Nick Nemeth. You know,
Oh, that'd be a
yeah,
good match.
I'll be. Nick Nemeth is like the shining star, and EC3 was the shining star when he was there, and that would be a great way. Ethan Carter the third versus Matt Hardy again.
Yeah.
just a one-off match against Matt Hardy to bury unfinished business there, because Matt
Yeah.
Hardy still wants to eat his cat. I will eat your cat. You leave Mrs. Tiddlywinkle out. That's one of the best moments I ever saw between them two.
Oh man. So yeah, Tessa Blanchard, shock arrival at Final Destination after rumours had been flying around a few
Yeah.
days prior. Like, I won't lie, when I looked at the video that you done, it said Tessa Blanchard's shocking return. I'm like, do you mean shock return, or do you just mean her return was shocking?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But I mean in a positive manner. Like, I'm a Tessa fan. I really
Yeah.
am. And like her return, as soon as she came over that rail, chin first, I was like, there she is.
Yeah.
Like, you can't like not notice it. But the way she laid into Jordan and stuff like that, she didn't lay a finger on Rosemary, did she?
No.
No. So that was interesting. I'm sure we'll get into that a bit later.
Yeah. Her post-match statement, afterwards, was she said that she's coming there to just go for Jordan Grace. She's looking at one match with Jordan Grace, basically to prove who the best in the world is. Because Jordan Grace,
Yeah.
she's like, or that's the narrative she's carrying on. I think it is literally just going to be one big match at Genesis, and then we're not going to see Tessa again.
Really?
Yeah, but
Okay.
it'll also be a great way to write off Jordan Grace as well. So that
Yeah.
they're both going to go on a massive high. It's going to be a huge talking point throughout the rest of the year, regardless.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I would love for Tessa to stick around because, like, Tessa versus like Xia Brookside, or like
Yeah,
Tessa versus the Elegance Girls. Like, just all these matches would be potential like match of the year, especially in the knockouts division, in my opinion. Because let's not deny it. Like, Tessa, she's got history, especially with Sami Callihan and stuff like that.
yeah,
You know, and I won't lie, when they had the 23 thing to do with and they kept showing it during PCO and Callihan's match, and they said about Tessa Blanchard, I just thought, oh, maybe it's her, but
Yeah.
it's not. So you know, that's me thrown out. But yeah, moving on. A certain guy, I don't know if any of you TNA fans will remember him or have heard of him. Was it Aj? No, sorry. AJ Styles was apparently backstage in Atlanta, likely to have been visiting friends, and who knows, maybe to meet the current management of TNA. What are your thoughts on that?
It's always good to see AJ Styles is looking to put the past behind him. He left on pretty bad terms with TNA, and all that's now water under the bridge. He's got to go back and meet some guys he's not seen for ages. And it's just good to see him
Yeah,
support one of the companies that made him the man he is now.
the face that runs the place.
Yeah,
Is like I've been like, well, I'd say a lifelong AJ fan, and then he went to WWE and got his soccer mom hair, and I just kind of, it fizzled out. Like I seen him do the OC with Gallows and Anderson.
yeah,
Just I wasn't a fan, so like, but that was WWE at that time. Like, they're creative and stuff like that. Just it wasn't attractive to me. So like, I respect AJ. Love him to bits, really do. He's gone off and he's earned the money and he's made himself who he is. A legend in other companies as well. Like he's had a great history in New Japan Pro Wrestling and Ring of Honor. But I would just say, like, if he's going to come back, I don't know in what sort of capacity. Are we going to see a Pele? We're going to see him jump off the ropes and stuff like that. Who knows? But what's Barry saying there? Barry, I'm one of those that thinks bringing Tessa back might be a bad idea, but who knows? Every decision is a gamble. Like, yeah, like I've got to agree with Barry. It might be a bad idea given her history, but like she is going to be scorned. Do you know what I mean? Do you think that she's going to make the same mistake again?
no,
Like,
no, she's
hopefully she's matured.
Anthem wouldn't have brought her back in if they didn't think if they thought she was going to do the same shit she did last time. I mean, Gail Kim wouldn't have endorsed her as well, or Tommy Dreamer
No,
wouldn't
yeah,
have brought her back, and even Moose wouldn't have welcomed her back.
yeah.
Yeah, Moose welcomed her back as soon as she stepped into the ring, and Moose brought her into the company to begin with. So if he had doubts that she was going to behave, shall we say? I don't like to put it that, but still,
You're not wrong.
yeah, but if she wasn't going to get along, or people thought she wasn't going to get on, then they wouldn't have brought her in.
No, that's very true. And like she's got a lot to risk. Like don't get me wrong, when people are like, "Oh, where's she going to go?" Tully Blanchard has been in AEW as far as I can remember.
Yeah, he's been there since like the Dynamite launched.
Yeah, so yeah, exactly. So like, naturally you think like, "Oh, Tessa's back, so she's going to go with him."
Yeah,
But, I don't see what capacity he used to do with TNA. We've seen him on TNA once when he turned up with
yeah.
Tony Schiavone, and when they were sat in the crowd, I think was that during COVID. I can't remember. It was a long time ago, anyway. But
Yeah.
Tully was there for that, and then I thought, oh, we're going to see Tessa. So I've been waiting for Tessa for so long,
Yeah.
and now she's back and she's come in that capacity. I'm like, brilliant. Just give her an open door. Give her creative and stuff like that. Like, don't get me wrong, I will tuck into the pay-per-view that we've seen a little bit later, but just I thought it was a bit sloppy because when the camera panned, she's like stood at the door talking to staff, then all of a sudden she's got to go and kick off on Gia. So yeah, I don't even want to say the next one. Meltzer just pushing a narrative that TNA are asking talents to take pay cuts. Who gives a shit about Meltzer? I've never given a shit
he
about
is. I said this as a reply to a comment. He's the ultimate troll. He's more competent than a wet fart.
Yeah, that's a polite way to put it. Like, the guy's robbing a wage.
Yeah.
Absolutely robbing a wage. Like, we've got talents out there who break their backs and stuff like that, and he'll come up and be like, there's a 3-star match. I would love to see him just stand in a ring and just take a chair shot or something like that, just to see if he's got the stones, and then let's see like what people rate that.
Yeah.
It's just honestly, I think, dare I say it, I think he's a cancer to wrestling. I don't respect him. I don't respect anything he said or done or anything like that. But hey ho, who am I? Do you know what I mean? So, so moving swiftly on. Zaya Brooks, she has sustained an injury. and we'll be back in 2025. That's unfortunate because, like,
Yeah,
the Wrestle match, and I thought that she
she was
definitely
amazing.
evolved as a character, and yeah,
Yeah, she's been amazing. She's got my vote for one to watch for 2025.
nice.
I hope I've not bloody cursed it now because everyone that gets voted for one to watch the next year usually gets fucking injured. Oh
It's sod's law, isn't it?
yeah,
It's one of them things, but just we've got to just be open to the fact that these guys, really put their bodies on the line. Like, with
yeah.
Chris Bay as well. Chris Bay's been out
Hammerstone's
for
out at
some
the moment
time.
too, briefly.
Hammerstone's out. Yeah, that's true. And that
But
guy looks jacked. He looks prepared
yeah,
for anything, doesn't he?
yeah. But
But
both of them are looking good, looking to be back around January, mid February, March at least. So it's good.
yeah,
It's good to know. Hammerstone does need some surgery on his knee. He's put out a post, explaining this whole situation a bit more on his X page or Twitter page or whatever you guys want to call it.
yeah. The former Birdie app.
Yeah,
So we are moving on now. So PW Insider has reported today that TNA are in active negotiations with many talents already with the promotions and others that are not yet. So I'm guessing we're negotiating with
yeah.
current people, but
I've seen Jade Stone advertised in elsewhere, and she's got a
nice,
TNA banner over her name.
nice.
So her being on TNA already has given us some recognition there. So I'm hoping that is in this conversation of people to come on,
Yeah,
as well as Maggie Moore, because she's
yeah.
incredible too.
I mean, like Jada is definitely one that definitely one to watch. Like
Yeah,
I'm a fan. I've seen her like elsewhere and stuff, but I really think that she
she
would
would
bring some.
fit perfectly.
Yeah. Should be a pretty good asset for us. So let's get stuck into Final Resolution,
Ooh.
the countdown show. Which yet again, I'm like always like these pre-shows and that TNA put out time and time again. I'm finding that some of those matches there, I'll be cliche. Some of them are possibly better than some of the main card, but
Yeah,
like I will say it, like this one, just JDC and Leon Slater, new versus old, if you will. I just thought that was a hell of a match. Like Leon Slater is just,
insane.
incredible.
It's just
Yeah,
oozing with potential, right? And it's bursting at the seams already.
yeah, but like especially with like JDC as well.
Yeah.
Like he's a veteran himself, isn't he? But it's just like you've got to think now. Like he's no fresh chicken,
I'm
but I
surprised
will.
I'm surprised JDC could keep up with Leon Slater, and he was they were going that quickly throughout the entire match. It was brilliant. It was
Exactly.
so
Yeah,
well timed choreographed and everything. They really
I was going to
done.
say the same. Like he's like one of those guys where when he first came to us, I was just like, oh man, what's this comedy act, But then out of nowhere, he's just really kind of like developed into this kick-ass character in that, and I
Yeah,
think he's overlooked quite a lot, especially as part of the system. But I think in that match he definitely shows, the quality of like if he wasn't to portray his character, if you didn't give him a microphone or put him in a vignette or something like that,
yeah.
he showed exactly why he is a professional wrestler and why he's worth being on the list. So yeah, I think he was underrated, to be fair, and I'm glad we've
Very
got him.
underrated.
So then we moved on to Gia Miller, revealing that Hammerstone is unable to compete in the three-way tag team match. Jake Something will look to make a statement as he competes without a partner against the Rascalz and the team of Pico and Sami Houlihan. Or PCO and Sami Callihan. What were your thoughts on that? What did you think about Jake Something going solo?
Um, I, I wasn't surprised, to be honest. I thought if they were to bring someone in now, then who would they bring in? Like that would be similar size to Hammerstone and work with Jake Something, and then who isn't Cody Deaner as the obvious fallback guy.
Yeah,
So
yeah, true.
but and it's also pushing something in his character is does he really need a partner? And so if Hammerstone comes back, then that's going to be that could be a storyline arc in there now. Do they really need to work together? Do they really need to be a unit?
I
And all that
mean, those two fighting, they could have a best of three.
definitely.
And I think it'd be great. It really would.
But it was a pretty solid promo from Jake something too.
Yeah, yeah.
Jim Miller
But
was shitting herself, poor thing.
yeah, I was gonna say he was.
I felt sorry for her.
I mean, I wouldn't want to be on the wrong side of Jake something, but I think the fact that it was, I don't know how soon they knew about Hammerstone not being able to compete, but it just shows that Jake can go solo.
Yeah,
I've watched Jake for a number of years now. From AAW when he teamed up with David Starr and Eddie Kingston. And they were wrestling without the E. That was their faction, and like, honest, they were just brilliant altogether. But Jake was just this dominant force, and he's had a really really good fighting history with Josh Alexander, and
yeah,
it was just kind of like them two always going toe to toe and stuff, and like the fact that we've got Jake something now, there was a little bit, especially under Scott, where I kind of felt like, oh, we're not seeing his full potential.
definitely.
And then now, him going solo and stuff like that, if he's not getting a TNA title shot for the heavyweight title in 2025, then we've done that guy wrong.
Yeah, or
You
if
know?
he's not at least X Division champion, if he can,
Oh, at the
he's
very
one
least.
of the guys who could dethrone Moose and do it really in a really really convincing and brutal match.
Yeah, 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 and he's so versatile as well. Like he could fight anyone, and like as mad as it sounds, I would like to see Jake something versus Alan Angels. Because
Yeah,
Alan Angels, he's so agile and stuff like that. But then you've got the big, like, dominant force of Jake something. Those two would put on a banger. But I
damn,
know full well it'd just be shown on like Explosion or something like that. Do you know what I mean? I
yeah,
don't think it'd get the flowers. But this is the thing: you see the potential in the stars. So if with the people that we've got going out, and the people that we've got, we could still put on banger matches. But it's one of those as well, because they're not the names that are like formerly WWE or like all that lot. Sometimes they don't get the attention, and I think that people who aren't fans of TNA miss out on seeing actual wrestling excellence. Do you know what I mean?
definitely. They only got to
Yeah,
look at Nick Nemeth.
yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. So we saw the king of TNA, Frankie Kazarian, defeat Jonathan Gresham. What were your thoughts on that one?
This was a good match too. A really really good technical showcase. Brilliant.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed this match.
yeah. I mean, like, I won't lie. I'm probably the polar opposite to you. I enjoyed it because it was classic Kaz.
Yeah,
But to me, I felt that Gresham, I, with that whole octopus thing and with the black ink and stuff like that and blah 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 blah, I just feel like
the
it's
hype is gone.
overdone. Yeah, I feel like in February 2025 he'll either follow his partner or he'll seek pastures new. I don't know if he's one of the talents that's on his way out the door, but I need some direction from him. I really do. Like, he's
Yeah,
a hell of a wrestler. He really sold the moves that Kaz done, but it's just not someone who grips me. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
not someone who makes me think like, oh, I won't make a cup of tea. Do you know what I mean? I'll hang around and see what he does. It's just nah. Gibbs just popped up there. I'm convinced that 23 is Pentagon. He is a free agent at the moment. He's wrestling with Triple A, who TNA have a good relationship with. Now, sorry to piss on your bonfire,
He is
but
going to WWE. It's been confirmed.
they
Uh,
showed
they dropped a huge trailer last night.
they showed a zero with like a cross, which is obviously Sarah Mado, or however you say it. Yeah, and Mia's jumping in to say showing up on WWE Raw on Netflix. Like 23, I would love it to be Pentagon. I really would. I would love for what Gibbs just said to be
Yeah,
absolutely true, but just nah. I don't think it is. I don't think it is. And then like when they're saying it's just a number, I've been racking my brains to try and think who it is.
yeah.
But then like I don't know. I can't divulge any further than it. I'll be here all night. I've got so many theories, but Yeah, Norris says sadly Penta's going to WWE. I'm sorry, mate. I don't agree. I'm happy he's going to WWE. He needs that platform. He deserves it. The
Yeah,
merch. Just think of the merchandise. Do you know what I mean? It's going to
yeah.
be insane. They might even come out with Penta masks from like WWE. So, yeah, I'm going to spend some silly money on stupid things. I can imagine. But anyway, final resolution. The main event. Well, not the main event. The main show begins, and we see the X Division match between Moose and Kushida. Moose catches Kushida in midair and whips him whips him into both the steel steps and the apron. Moose stops the referee from counting out Kushida, but comes back to haunt him. Moose charges at Kushida, but he reverses, sending Moose crashing into the steps. Favouring his left shoulder, Moose connects with the Go to Hell for 2. Minutes later, Kushida is in control as he hits Moose with a Back to the Future for a near fall of his own. Kushida catches him in a hoverboard lock, but Moose makes it to the bottom rope. That was lucky. That was a lucky
Yeah.
escape. I've got to say that. Moose counters the handspring back elbow into the spear to win. Like, just physically, two very, very different characters. But I've got to be honest. I don't think Kushida had a chance. Moose was always going to win that. That's
Oh
that's just
yeah.
that's just my view. But
It was a
yeah, what did
good.
you think?
It was a brilliant showcase from Kushida though. But he's never put on a bad match, and Moose is just once again showing that he's a guy that's got so many different moves in his arsenal, and he can go just about any style, any way. And
Yeah,
he's starting to build that foundation that he wants to for the X Division. He wants to make this the go-to title over the world title now, which is why he's got the belt and everything. And that was like the first thing he said online. As soon as he got the thing, this is going to be the one title you're going to be talking about next. And
yeah. Did you see that like story where they said they're retiring it next year?
I am not no.
Nah, don't worry about it then. Let's just move over it. Because I looked, I was like, what? Why would TNA get rid of the X Division title? That's literally the TNA title. That's
Yeah,
what TNA was built on, you know. So, but yeah, that's just my opinion. But yeah, it was a good match. Don't get me wrong, but just on paper, physically, stuff like that, it was always going to be uh,
yeah.
Moose's show. Um, I'm just looking here. So we've got. Oh, right, okay. So we got the other AJ, not Styles, but AJ Tracy, not AJ Tracy, AJ Francis, alongside his ally in first class, Casey Navarro, vowed to defeat Nick Nemeth and become the new TNA World Champion. Uh, I remember that vignette. I remember that interview. Sorry, where they were chatting to each other and stuff,
Yeah.
and it did make me chuckle. I'm not gonna lie, but. I don't know, man. I just does if AJ Francis won the title. If he won the title, would you be happy?
Oh, it didn't cross my mind until the match started. That if AJ Francis won the title, we would have got a Tom Hannafin was saying, we get full circle between Joe Hendry and AJ Francis, and what a way to kick off the year that would be.
Yeah. Oh man, can you imagine? I
Yeah,
just love to see him coming out with the TNA title and the
yeah,
Cheez-It Championship at the
yeah.
same time. And then like
Even if
put
he
both belts on the line.
brings the Speed Championship now to rub it into Joe Hendry's face even more that he's got gold and Hendry doesn't, and things like
To be
that.
fair, he should just bring it in because like PCO's will come around with one or
Yeah,
two even. So I don't get why PCO is still the digital media champion, but that's not my decision. I would have got I'm gonna forget his name. He dropped in the other week on the pay-per-view. I can't remember. He used to be part of the Desi Hit Squad.
Raheem Raju.
That's the one. Boom. See, I didn't even give you that. Didn't
That's all
even give you
right.
that much, but you knew who it was.
Yeah,
Rahit Raju. That is the guy who deserves the Digital Media Championship, and I shall tell you for why. Because of what he done with the X Division that time. He
yeah,
literally made its own Twitter account. Do you know what I mean? It was every day he was having meals with it, taking it on dates. He was giving it food, stuff like that. That is a guy who would put the DMC title on the map again. You know, rather than giving it to these people who, dare I say it, maybe a little bit over the hill and stuff. Like, you know, criticize me all you want for saying that, but I do think PCO's got a tag partner now because I don't think he can go on his own. You know, he's doing like 4 or 5 moves and then doing something extreme to himself, and then that's it. I'm just really glad that they're not jump starting him still to bring him out, because that
Yeah.
was the most boring entrance. That was a waste of time for so long. You know, I'm glad that it just like goes down now and he walks out. Brilliant. You know, keep that entrance as short as possible, please. Get him in the ring, get him over and done with, and get him gone. But it does sound like I'm not a PCO fan, doesn't it? I don't know if that's coming across.
No,
Um,
it's constructive criticism in my eyes.
yeah. Adam Whitman, he's dropped in. Oi, oi. Hello,
Hello.
mate. Hope you're good. Thanks for popping by. No response, Zilla Fatu. Like, how many Fatus are there in wrestling now?
Oh, there's quite a few, as far as I know.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Jimmy's just dropped in with the bird's eye chicken girthers. I'm not even explaining that. I can't believe I've just said it live. But so we'll move on to I've hang on, have I gone up there? Just having a little look there. AJ Francis, the Rascalz versus PCO and Callihan, with Hammerstone unable to compete. Jake Something will go it alone with this 3-way tag team match, also featuring the Rascalz and the new duo of PCO and Sami Callihan. Have they thought of a name yet?
Not yet, no.
Because like PCO's Undead
Yeah.
and Sami Callihan's the Death Machine. I feel like there's something there.
Yeah,
Just so much death.
Sammy was chucking, asking people to chuck names towards the team couple of weeks ago. So I think
Right.
Sammy wants there to be something for it, but they just haven't got anything.
Yeah, PCO, Callihan, just I've got nothing. Just the zombies of death. I don't know. But yeah, so Jake Something takes Wentz off his feet with a series of running shoulder tackles. The Rascalz deliver a double team offense to PCO, but the French Canadian Frankenstein, that's a mouthful, levels them with clotheslines. Miguel continues to be worn down by PCO and Callihan. Miguel then creates an opening after PCO and Callihan inadvertently collide, allowing him to tag in Wentz. Something is super kicked into a crucifix bomb from Wentz. PCO soars with a PCO salt off the top rope to the floor, which is just crazy to see. That dude is old, man. Stop doing this crazy shit. Jake Something then power bombs Miguel into the back of Wentz. Wentz runs down the ramp and hits PCO with the UFO cutter. The Rascalz put Something away, where to feed him to the Lions for 3. Now, like, what a display! What a display of talent in that match. What were your thoughts on that?
It is a must-watch match, and definitely a must-watch again match for me. I watched it last night, and I need to watch it again because I was so engrossed in it. I missed something or something, I'm sure. But there was so many high spots in this match that it was pretty hard to pick just one out. It was just insane. Everyone just worked together so great as well. It didn't feel like this match was going to be a complete mess.
I mean, like, not being funny, like we've already give Jake Something his flowers and that, but you know, the Rascalz and Callihan, like, I know they've been doing bits over in Wrestling Revolver, Sami's company and stuff, but honest, those guys just all jumping in together. The chemistry that they've got there is just insane, isn't it? It's so good, so good. Kevin has dropped in and said, "Is TNA getting rid of the, I'm guessing, X division, the X division championship?" Now, I just went over that with Joe. I reckon it's a bullshit story, because, not being funny, like, you know, Moose has that title. He's not going to get rid of that. Like, we were built on the X division, you know, and we've had so many great champions and stuff like that. It's I just won't believe it. I won't believe it at all. It's just But after the match, the number 23 makes another mysterious appearance, and, like, you know, guys in the comments, by all means, just write 23 and write who you think it is, because Mia thinks it's Dr. Pepper. Like,
what's going to happen?
You know, I was going to say, let's not demonetize this for the show. But like, you know, everyone loves Dr. Pepper, but you know, various other beverages are available from various outlets. But yeah, 23. I can't. I don't want it to be Baron Corbin. I really don't. Earlier on, Somerset Slammer said that 23. Apparently, Maine is the 23rd state in America.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
how correct that is. But, you know, do we know any wrestlers from Maine? And the fact it's coming out against Callihan and PCO makes me feel like there's a link there somewhere.
yeah.
Again, I don't know who that could be.
I'm thinking it might be Fulton and whoever he's working with at Wrestling Revolver. That Gia Miller's got on her side after she punched Ace Austin in the nuts and cost him his belt.
Right, okay. And like
That's
not being funny with Tessa when she pie faced Gia,
yeah.
do you reckon we might start seeing Gia get a bit more physical in 2025? Do you reckon that could be possible?
I hope so.
Yeah, oh, we
I
all
really
hope so,
do.
I'm sure.
'Cause,
But
you know, Gia is if you haven't seen her in Wrestling Revolver, you're missing something really special.
right, right.
Really,
That's
really
something
special.
definitely for people to something definitely to check out. I take it you got a few of those episodes saved.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Um, so we move on. We had EY Eric Young. He tells Steve Macklin that he has his back in tonight's four-way number one contenders match for the TNA World Championship. Now that is a duo that I do love. You know, the fact that EY and Macklin are, you know, friends and stuff like that. It's great to see. And like, you know, I won't lie. You know, obviously we know the results and stuff like that, but I was quietly gutted that Macklin didn't get number one contender because I would like to see him get another TNA run. Like, who knows if he's going to be with us for all the way through 2025 or if he's going to be one of those who goes. But at the same time, I'm just kind of like, you know, put some gold on the guy already. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? We've forgotten the comments there.
I'm on his way to work, and he's chosen to give us a listen. So I'm just thanking him
Oh, cheers, man.
thanking him for tuning in. Glad that we were the go-to place for him. Really
Yeah,
appreciate
man.
that.
Safe travels and that. Yeah. Yeah. Paul says it's got to be someone from Sammy's past, as 23 only comes up when he's in the ring.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would Mia with the observation. Yes. Sadly, there's no Bison at the moment. He's not feeling too well. And like I said, by all means, I haven't even got a hat because I left it in the car. So like you've just got this light above my head bouncing off my forehead, blinding you all. But I've made that public now, so you can't sue me. So we move on. We
John
had
Cena.
Ace Austin. Yeah. Ace Austin versus Trent Seven. Ace Austin seeks revenge on Trent Seven in this one-on-one showdown. The bell rings and Austin immediately goes on the attack, which, yeah, by God, he did. Austin heads to the top, but Seven shuts him down to regain control. Seven slows the pace down as he delivers a methodical attack to Austin. Then, really tasteless this. Like, I don't care if it's a story
Yeah,
a
this
story
hurt.
or anything like that. But Trent Seven rips Austin's "We Love Bay" T-shirt, which angers Austin even more. I think it angered the fans as well. And like I said, I've mentioned it there because I just thought it was tasteless. Like, you know, not being
Yeah,
funny. If Trent Seven's not hanging around in the company, then you've put a marker on yourself because one day Bay's going to turn up and kick your ass. Just saying. Austin hits a springboard kick for two. Austin then connects with a double stomp for another near fall, but Trent Seven regains control with a Birmingham hammer on the hardest part of the ring. Seven hits the 7-star lariat, followed by a pile driver, but Austin kicks out at one. Like, you could tell how pissed off he was, do you know what I mean? Austin connects with the art finesse, followed by the fold to win, which was just like, it was
yeah.
so
He
good. Just
set up
boom, boom.
boom, 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 1, 2, 3, and he did it. This is one of my favorite matches of the night. If probably one of the best matches of the night from a story perspective. You know, not just for the fact that it's all in tribute to Chris Bay. This match, it was a rivalry that built up really really quickly. It could have been just anything to get some sort of heat between them, and they both built on it brilliantly,
Yeah.
and that they both put on a hell of a performance in this match. And I was so angry when Trent Seven ripped that shirt up. I was ready to
Yeah.
put my fist through my desk, but the dogs were looking at me like, "What the fuck's he doing?"
I mean, it was just tasteless, wasn't it?
Yeah, it
Like
was a
I
bit.
get I get it's like kayfabe and stuff like that, but
Yeah,
I just
ooh,
thought, yeah, maybe it
no.
was a step in the wrong direction. Especially like I say, if Trent's off anywhere, then if you do set your foot back in a TNA ring, or if we have a crossover of any sort, then just I wouldn't want to piss Chris Bay off. Do you know what I mean? So but yeah, so let's move on. We had the Call Your Shot trophy holder, the king of TNA. I'll say it, don't worry, Frankie. Frankie Kazarian says that he's going to be keeping a close eye on the TNA World Championship match between Nick Nemeth and AJ Francis, which he did. Like, don't get me wrong. But, like, I don't know, man. Like, I'll probably talk about that a little bit later. We always come up with our little theories and stuff like that, but, Genesis, is that when Frankie's going to cash that cup in? Do you think, or yeah, it's a tough one.
It seems like the best course of action, to kick the year off with as much surprises as possible.
I mean, I'll jump into it now. So what I think Kaz is doing is he's waiting for Joe Hendry to be fighting Nick Nemeth.
Yeah,
Okay, and what I can kind of see happening is a certain John Layfield turning up
yeah,
again and denying Nick Nemeth, denying Joe Hendry the win.
yeah,
I've just got a feeling that he's gonna deny Joe Hendry the win, so Nemeth could keep the title. But
yeah.
that's when Kaz will like jump in the ring or something like that, cash it in, and because I can't remember, is the match got to end, or like do you have to
He
cash it
can
in
he,
during the
he
match?
can do it whenever he wants. You can do it.
Okay,
He can do it during the match if you wanted to.
yeah. So I like imagine like Hendry's got Nemeth down for the 3, but gets pulled out on 2.
Yeah,
Clothesline from hell. Kaz jumps in, cashes in.
yeah,
Just does the 1, 2, 3 on Nemeth, wins the title.
yeah.
So I've just got this feeling that it's
That would
Nemeth
create
versus
such an
Hendry.
uproar as well. That is honestly how I would love to see it. That would create such an uproar across the internet.
Do you know what I mean? Like we
Yeah,
could clip this up and say we predicted it. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah,
then the thing is with wrestling, this is what I say to people. People are like, why are you watching TNA still? And I'm just like, because it's at that point where I don't know what's going to happen. It's
yeah,
got exciting again. Do you know what I mean? It's fun. It's
yeah,
just like, and like now we're going back and forth and being like, that would be good, but is
yeah,
it going to happen? It's
yeah,
not predictable anymore. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean? Like I got fed up with watching was it Orange Cassidy matches or whatever, with his hands in his pocket. You just knew he was going to get up and do this, that, and all the other, and then like the predictable run of a certain Chris Jericho in that other company with that Tony guy. I just it was a hype product for about 18 months and stuff, but it gets predictable. Whereas TNA, like we've changed management, we've changed champions, we've changed background staff and stuff like that. We're smashing it. We really are.
yeah,
People still sleeping on TNA now. You don't know what you're doing. You've really missed out, and like I feel sorry for you for not watching it. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, Gibbs has just jumped in and said the JBL storyline is dragged out too long. They need to
yeah.
finish that
I do.
storyline at
I
Genesis.
agree
I
with that.
totally agree.
Yeah,
Or I want to see JBL versus Kaz, and then JBL wins the cup, and then JBL cashes it in against Nemeth, and then JBL becomes the champion. It could happen. It probably won't, but still. Um, anyway, let's stop this fantasy stuff and let's carry on. So, the knockouts action is next as the demonic Rosemary battles Jordan Grace at Final Resolution. The action is fast and furious from the opening bell. Jordan Grace goes for the electric chair, but Rosemary counters into the upside down. That was awesome. Grace delivers a strong palm strike, but Rosemary rises up from the dead, standard. Rosemary avoids the Vader bomb, but Grace absorbs the follow-up spear attempt. Rosemary locks in a sleeper on the ramp, but Grace slams her down to break the hold. Rosemary spears Grace through the ropes for 2. Grace then hits the muscle buster, like the commentator, I can't remember which one, but
shades
they
of
said
Samoa.
like Yeah, Shades of Samoa. I was just like, oh my god, like that was such a quality reference.
Yeah.
She hits the muscle buster when someone drags the referee out of the ring. The mystery assailant takes out the referee and Jordan Grace. They take off their mask, like eventually, and it's revealed to be none other than Tessa Blanchard. What was your thoughts on that?
I've had watched that clip of Tessa on Twitter about 4 or 5 times since the news broke on Saturday, and I still can't believe it until I watched it yesterday. It was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
wow. And I didn't. Yeah, honestly, I know you might have been able to recognize it from the jaw. I don't know how the hell you managed to do that with the mask on, but I honestly couldn't have predicted it would have been Tessa until the mask had come off.
Yeah.
It was but because anyone
I
else
mean,
who's got real beef with Jordan Grace is at AEW WWE now, so there isn't anyone else out there who really does have legitimate beef with Jordan Grace.
yeah.
So
I
I thought,
mean, like with Tessa, like I won't lie, and I am being a bit cocky here. As soon as she jumped that rail and
yeah,
started doing the hits and stuff like that, for female wrestlers, I looked and I thought that's got to be Tessa,
yeah,
because I watched that much of her,
yeah,
and
how
I've
she
had the
punches.
pleasure of seeing her live and stuff like that. The like body language and like the position and stuff like that. I
Yeah,
thought that's got to be Tessa. And when she got in the ring and done what she done, I was
yeah.
just
When she
like,
did the Bustle DT, that had me thinking, no, I was like, no, that can't be Tessa. No, and then the master was like, ah, fucking hell.
yeah, yeah. I mean, like that was a hell of a pop. Do you know what I mean? It was. I think that it definitely like came at the right time for TNA and stuff like that. And yeah, it's just I'm really glad she's back. Honestly, I am
Yeah,
really glad she's back. I know that there's some beef outside and stuff like that, and she may have done some stupid things in the past, and I am not refuting that. Some people do stupid things and they deserve to wear that for the rest of their life, but I want to see what she does. I really
yeah,
want to see what she does. Slam has just jumped in and said this was the best bit of the show. This will be Grace's best TNA feud. Nearly 2 million views now. My God. And I love the
definitely.
seething comments. I
Yeah.
haven't looked at the comments yet. I'll look at
Oh,
them
the
later.
comments are fucking hilarious. Everyone
Yeah.
crying, oh no, I'm the TNA is dead now. Oh, I'm not going to subscribe anymore. Oh,
Wow. Can you imagine having
how
that much
fucking
power?
petty. How bloody petty is all I
Yeah,
think.
but this is the thing. Like, having one wrestler come in,
Yeah.
and dare I say it, it's 2024 for a few more days. 2025, having a female talent who is world renowned to be able to shift the mindset of fans of a wrestling company. That
Yeah,
is the best power move that you'll get. So we've got
definitely.
the overnight sensation of Joe Hendry smashing it in the heavyweight title, in that scene, and
Yeah,
then you've got Tessa smashing it for the knockouts and putting us back on the map. Some people are saying for the wrong reasons. Negative buzz is still buzz. That's what Scott
definitely.
D'Amore said. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And like this whole Tessa thing, I hope that it just kind of carries on and stuff like that. But Norris is saying that even with a mask, we could all tell it was Tessa by her chin. Like I'm with Norris. I'm sorry. As soon as I seen it and she like turned her head to the side, I was just like, American Dad. It's just, so, but like it's like I'm being an arse by like saying these sorts of things and stuff like that. She would kick my head in, but she's really good. Adam, get your juice mug, mate. I haven't got juice. I'm not even at my place. Do you know what I mean? I forgot my hat. Like have you not been blinded yet? How can you still see the screen? Telling me to get my juice mug. Like there's enough juice here. Um, I'm just going to go to Barry's comment there because he's taken some time there, and I do want to go over it because that he's made something quite interesting there. He thinks that Joe Hendry is going to win the title. He thinks that Moose comes out demanding option C. Holy shit. He's the X Division champion. Okay.
yeah,
Demanding option C immediately, and they let him. Moose wins, celebrates. Then Cash cashes in. Oh, I got that right, didn't I? Kaz cashes in
yeah.
on Moose and wins. Then Sting, Sting comes out and says he's owed a title rematch from years ago. Pins Kaz, and then Dixie Carter comes out. She says she bought TNA and gives the title to Hogan. That's the only thing that makes sense. Now, I'm sorry to say it, brother, but I'm not so sure that that would happen unless Hogan then puts the title on his shoulder, the lights drop, and then we hear, "Give me a shell, yeah." And then the TNA title rightfully goes to the person who should have always been champion in Shark
Shark
Boy.
Boy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I think that is the so yeah for Genesis. I'm going to agree with Barry and say like I reckon some wild stuff is going to happen at Genesis, like for the title match. But I'm going early doors. I'm going to say it now. By the end of January, Shark Boy will be TNA Heavyweight Champion. You heard it here first. Anyway, let's get back to the real world. Gia Miller, God bless her. She catches up with the one and only Tessa Blanchard backstage. Tessa Blanchard says she's back and she's taking what's hers. And then Pie faces Gia. Do you really think that Tessa's going to come in and take what's hers? Do you think it's hers? Because not being funny, I think she not give it back and we had to make a new one? So technically
Yeah.
she still has it.
No, I think in general she's talking about the spot of being known as the greatest women's wrestler in the world at the moment. Her post match interview elsewhere, she did it all in Spanish. So I'm reading off of the subtitles, but basically, she's come into TNA. Jordan Grace is going around saying she's the best in the world. She's the best women's wrestler in the world. And Tessa Blanchard's on that same level, and her mindset is I'm the best. So I'm going to come back here and we're going to set up this once and for all who is definitely the best in all time.
Yeah.
So that's like the legitimate beef that Tessa's got with Jordan Grace.
Yeah, I mean, like, people are saying, like, oh, Jordan said that she's going to refuse to fight Tessa, then, like, that's a backwards move. That's a backwards move. I don't care if you like have personal thing and stuff like that. I know that it's not me who's going through it, but like surely in a professional manner, like if you hate her that much, do the match and don't pull your punches.
Yeah.
Make it a stiff match. Like if you want to body slam her, then put her through the ring.
Yeah.
If you want to punch her in the face, punch her in the face. We could see quite possibly the most brutal knockouts division match ever, because it's two people who genuinely hate each other and they won't pull their moves.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't know. Like, it would be a banger of a match, but I've said to you guys for ages, I feel like Jordan's 1 foot out the door, and we've got an old flame back now. We've got Tessa back, so I do feel like we could lose some of the knockouts now, and who's going to come in? Who's going to fight Tessa? Do you know what I mean? Like we could have, like, with the creative that we've got now, we could have a really, really good angle as well. Good storyline with this. But yeah, Norris reminds us this is not AE dub. Everyone in TNA knows how to do business. Well, yeah, I mean, I agree, but let's see where we go with this, because if it flops, then we've not done too well there. But anyway, let's move on to the 4-way number 1 contenders matchup. Joe Hendry, Josh Alexander, Mike Santana, and Steve Macklin all clash for a TNA World title shot at Genesis. EY comes out, rightfully so, and joins Tom Hannafan and Matthew Raywalt on commentary. Alexander hits Macklin with a long series of German suplexes. I mean, I'm just going to butt in on that bit there and just say, look, that match. If you go back, and even if you watch it on double speed, look at that match. How much shit did Macklin have to take? He got battered all match. I'm just like, did everyone just whoever wrote the script for that match or something like that? Did they just go right? You need to do a move on Macklin, Hendry, Macklin, Alexander, Macklin, Santana, by the way, Macklin. Macklin just ran around the ring and just he done so much. I don't know if he was trying to prove a point that he could take all the hits and that, but I did start to feel sorry for him. I was like, come on, man. I know it was one and done, Santana, but give the guy a break. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, Alexander, he gets caught he avoids the caught in the crosshairs, which poor Macklin. But he
Yeah.
gets caught with a clothesline from Hendry. Alexander and Hendry exchange strikes in the middle of the ring before Alexander tosses him to the outside. Alexander erases Santana off the apron with a running crossbody. It's all Josh Alexander as he hits Macklin with a thudding German suplex on the ramp. Back in the ring, Santana connects with the rolling buck 50 on Alexander. Everyone is down following an innovative street sweeper from Santana off the top rope. Hendry then hits Alexander with a fallaway slam off of the top. Santana dives through the ropes, like beautifully, might I add, driving Alexander back first into the barricade. Barricade went like flying as well. The fans were like, we just bought these drinks. What's going on? Hendry leaps over the top. Wow, just that was the most elegant leap I've ever seen Hendry do. He just kind of runs, just goes, catch me. He took out everyone on the floor. Alexander then zip ties Santana to a gate in the impact zone, which it was really sly that Alexander's clearly scared of Santana. I'm just saying.
Definitely, yeah.
Alexander goes low on Macklin, but Hendry hits him with the standing ovation to win, which it was huge that win.
That was
it
poetic
really was.
justice as well. Hendry getting the pin on Josh Alexander of all people. That was brilliant too.
Yeah, I mean, and what a standing ovation as well. And you could see the happiness in Hendry's face and stuff like that. And I'm all for it. To get behind Joe Hendry because we believe. I think it's a great time to be Joe Hendry. It's a great time to be a TNA fan, and I'm really looking forward to next year. But just, oh man, is it going to go well? Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, we see Nick Nemeth, and he vows to remain the TNA World Champion on the main event as he defends against AJ Francis. But we moved on then to Tasha versus Masha in the Falls Count Anywhere Knockouts total match. Before the match begins, the director of Authority, Santino Marella, bans Alicia Edwards.
This was a miscarriage of justice. This was a total miscarriage of justice.
He bans her from the building so that she can't interfere on Tasha's behalf.
Ridiculous.
Not only that, but security will surround the ring to ensure there is a winner.
Did you see the whole clip on Twitter? Then so you can see that Santino's actually drags her outside, throws her outside, and then they slam the door on her, and she's banging on the gate to get back in.
No, I haven't seen that, but I will go and look for that after the show.
That's when I first saw it, because Alicia Edwards posted it, and she's fuming, and I said to her, I hope Eddie Edwards gets his name back on that. That's just miscarriage of justice, disgraceful. That's disgusting.
Very true, very true. The match is on, and Slamovich dives through the ropes to take out Steels and the security team. Steels then hits a vertical suplex into the steps. Steels remains in control with a draping DDT onto the floor. Slamovich turns the tide with a superplex off the top. They go back and forth on the apron, leading to Steels hitting a cutter on the ramp. The brawl rages on as Slamovich gains the upper hand. Slamovich then spikes her with the Requiem piledriver to win. What were your thoughts on that one?
This match had a lot more than what's in the script. The script doesn't do it enough justice. This match was brilliant. One of Tasha Steele's best matches. A great,
totally agree.
Great way to see Masha Slamovich fend off against someone new, and show that she can adapt to anyone. It was just brilliant. Nice, quick, and brutal.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely one of. I agree. That's one of Tasha's best matches. I won't lie. I would like to see Tasha as champ. I think she does deserve another run. She had some kick-ass matches with Deonna Purrazzo back in the day. But to see Tasha back at her best, solo in a TNA ring, I really do. I think that she should be a champion next year. But who knows? But she's definitely got the skills to put on a long-term match. And, not being funny. Sorry, Mia's just dropped in and said "banned"
Yeah.
was the code you can use to get discount on TNA Plus. It was such a cheesy thing to happen, but I don't know if that still works. But
That
it's
was
worth a look
brilliant.
if you haven't
That was
got it.
just such a great way to piss everybody off and piss the system off.
Yeah, yeah.
I laughed at that, and then I remembered that he's got Alicia on his shoulder and he's put her outside. So the fan of Alicia and me is angry, but I'm still there pissing myself laughing at the same time.
I mean, like going back to it, like Tasha doesn't need Alicia Edwards. She doesn't
No,
at all. And
no.
like she's put on some bangers of matches and that, and I really think that she could be a one to watch. I'd like to see Tasha versus Rosemary, and let's be honest, Tasha versus Tessa Blachard. That would be just a money match right there. I think.
Yeah.
For all sorts of reasons, which I won't divulge into. Um, Anyway, moving on. The tag title tables match. The Hardys versus the System. I mean, like, before I even start, I know that everyone uses it in past tense and says the Hardys are legends and stuff. Let's just say Jeff Hardy,
Yeah.
like, just insane.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane. Like, to see Jeff Hardy, the stuff that he's gone through, the negatives that people have thrown his way and stuff like that, to see him do what he's done is incredible. Let's
Yeah.
get stuck in with it first. So Jeff goes for an early twist of fate on Myers, but Edwards halts his momentum by tripping him up on the top rope. Matt suplexes Myers from the top rope, but Edwards moves the table in the nick of time. Myers hits Matt with a spear before both members of the System put him through a table. They're about to do the same to Jeff, but Matt recovers and comes to his aid. Matt hits Myers with the twist of fate off the apron through a table below. Back in the ring, Jeff hits Edwards with a whisper in the wind. The fight spills into the crowd, where Jeff soars off of a balcony with a swanton bomb, sending Edwards crashing through a table to win. Like, the build up to that was
Yeah.
huge. Like, it was just the crowd, not like to do that, and to be in the crowd and see it, like first person viewing that must have been insane. That
There's some
that
brilliant
table.
fan footage videos going around of it.
Oh,
Jeff.
okay.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I mean, that table, the first table that I used, that just like spontaneously just combusted.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh man, it was such a cheesy moment, but like they managed to get a table back out there pretty quick, and they executed it well and stuff like that. It's just live wrestling. That's what happens.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But I thought it was really good. Really, really good match, and I think the star of that whole thing was Jeff Hardy. Like, don't get me wrong, Matt was. Well, he was living his younger self, in my
Yeah,
opinion, as well. He was
definitely.
really going for it and stuff. And, like, the fact that he just happened to be, like, waiting upstairs with a chair was fantastic.
That was like that was a broken Matt Hardy moment, and
Yeah.
he was just out the other side of the door, just
Like, this is the thing. Like, in that match, I think that's what it missed. He came
yeah,
out as he done, and they're all, like, doing delete and stuff
yeah,
like that. I think that what he should have done was dressed as Broken Matt Hardy when he came out and done that bit and had, like, a costume change.
yeah,
That would have been brilliant, but like that's just me, and it's live wrestling. Like I say, it would have been too much of an ask, I think. But yeah, I think that match in total was just it
well,
was so good to see the Hardys, especially seeing as we've signed them for another contract and stuff. It's long may it continue, and I hope they stick around for quite some time, especially if it's going to be that level of quality.
yeah. Anyone that has doubted Jeff Hardy, go back and watch Bound for Glory through till Final Resolution and everything in between, and
Yeah, I agree.
then tell me Jeff Hardy's not good to go.
Yeah, I totally agree. So we move on to Nick Nemeth versus AJ Francis for the world title match. The bell rings and Nemeth hits an immediate headbutt followed by a super kick for one. Like I honestly, I thought it was over.
Yeah,
As soon as he done that, boom, boom, I was just like, oh man, I felt sorry for AJ Francis because, like, let's be honest, AJ Francis, as much as some people don't like him and stuff like that, he is everywhere. He is everywhere, inside the ring, outside the ring, promos, musically, he does everything, and I think that he's underrated. in TNA. I will say that, and I think that he might be underutilized as well because we have got a star. We've got a star there, and like Raywald said, he's a monster of a human.
Yeah.
He's a big old dude. Do you know what I mean? So I think in the right sort of storyline and stuff like that, we could see like a really really uh, good progress with AJ Francis. But anyway, we move on. So that's Nemeth done a super kick, and Francis kicked out and won. The Call Your Shot Gauntlet winner Frankie Kazarian makes his way to ringside and joins the commentary team. Casey Navarro, yeah, Casey Navarro distracts Nemeth at ringside, allowing Francis to assault him from behind. Francis goes for the down payment, but Nemeth counters. Nemeth powerbombs Francis out of the corner for 2. Nemeth leaps off the top, but Francis catches him with a big boot. Navarro puts his hands on Nemeth as Francis hits the TFL spear for a near fall. Francis then remains in control following Tennessee Whiskey. The ref catches Navarro swatting Nemeth's foot off the top rope, ejecting him from ringside. Nemeth plunges Francis into the danger zone, but it's not enough. Francis crashes and burns on a moonsault as Nemeth hits the Fameasser for 2. Francis plants him with the down payment, but Nemeth rolls outside the ring. Nemeth counters the next down payment into a Fameasser. Nemeth hits with a super kick, followed by the danger zone for the win. After the match, Casey Navarro blindsides Nemeth as Francis joins in on the assault. Joe Hendry evens the odds, bringing the fight to first class. Hendry and Nemeth both grab the TNA World Championship, and them two will go face to face as final resolution comes to a close. I'm trying to read like 2 words at the same time.
I know it happens to me.
Yeah, I was looking. I was like, I know what that says, but yeah, I tried saying at and tried saying as. I nearly said ass. I'm glad I didn't, but there we go. But yeah, your thoughts on like that whole, well, just explosion at the end.
Yeah,
like,
at the moment, AJ Francis is in negotiations on his current contract status now. So if this didn't show Anthem that they need to keep him on the roster and give him something that he's after to keep him there, then we are losing a major player. We've had Josh Alexander's done all he's done, Jordan Grace has done all she's done, so they've got nothing left to offer us. Great star powers there. They've got nothing left to offer us in terms of what they want to do and what the roster needs to do.
Yeah.
If AJ Francis is just set the world alight and after the humiliation he got from WWE and from Joe Hendry at the start of the year, but even that played into his character more, and he's ended the year in one of the most amazing matches, one of the most fantastic main events I've ever seen since I've been watching TNA, and if he goes as well, doesn't goes to contract renewed, then like I said, TNA have really really missed an opportunity. I hope he sticks around, but this match was incredible.
I totally agree, man. Like he is that good. Do you know what I mean? He is that good, and like I say, I think we'd be sleeping on him if we weren't going to do it properly. But again, like I think with the right storyline, then he could AJ not Styles. I think with the right storyline, we could see like a real he could emerge into a decent talent. I really do think so. I just want to jump on a comment that Mir shared there. Now he says that I've not mentioned the idiot that slapped Eddie Edwards. Now there's a reason for that, Mir, because let's take it away from what we saw as TNA fans on screen and let's look at the facts that Eddie Edwards was assaulted by a member of the public, by a paying fan who's attended that zone.
Yeah.
And we didn't hear what was said to Eddie. Eddie slapped the drink out of this guy's hand, but then that guy slapped Eddie Edwards. That's not predetermined. That's not cool. That's not fair. You don't do that.
Yeah.
So there's a reason why I didn't bring it up at the time, because it didn't need to be mentioned with the talent that we have on board, because none of that talent deserves to be inadvertently assaulted. Do you know what I mean? It's they are trained professionals. They wrestle with each other and stuff like that all night. in that match, Eddie was getting shit from all around the ring.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's an Atlanta Boston thing. I'm not sure because like that was I looked and I thought, what is their problem with Eddie?
yeah.
And then slowly but surely, I thought maybe it's because of the Boston thing. I don't know. I'm not a local, as you might tell. But it's one of them things where this guy who assaulted Eddie Edwards doesn't deserve the flowers. What a dick! And yeah, it's not really a clip that I'm going to be going back and watching. I have seen it do its circulation online for like things like TMZ or whatever. Fair play to them because they want the negative to bring towards TNA. But again, negative buzz is still buzz. Whoever that dick is who slapped Eddie Edwards, I hope you shit the bed. So anyway, moving on. Let's have a look at Impact this Thursday on Access TV. So no matches really, no matches except for the best ones of 2024, and it'll be the best ones part 1, followed by next Thursday will be the best of 2024 part 2. Just off the top of your head, Joe, are there any matches that you're expecting will be in part 1 or 2?
Oh wow. Well, we're probably going to see the main event for the tag team match from Bound for Glory for the tag team titles. There, that'll be on there if they're going to be showing best matches of the year.
Yeah.
Hammerstone, Hammerstone versus Alexander 2. Will Ospreay versus Alexander 2. Mike Bailey versus Mustafa Ali. Ace Austin versus Mustafa Ali. That was bloody incredible.
I just think like one of those parts could just be Mustafa Ali matches.
Yeah.
I won't lie, like that is a guy who I miss, who I like again. Me being so naive and like being like so sheltered away from watching WWE and stuff like that. To see him come into TNA and do what he done, and then leave, not being funny. What was his right hand man called?
Champagne Singh.
Champagne Singh. He made him relevant. Like, how many times have we seen Champagne Singh in and out of Impact or TNA and stuff like that, and he's just like been a nothing guy, dare I say it? And then all of a sudden, sorry, just in Adam's comment, Champagne Singh being relevant. Sorry, but Adam's just made Barry Scott relevant on a TNA show. Barry Scott's the guy who done the Sill It Bang advert. So if you don't know it, go Google it. It's a complete worthy waste of your time. But yeah,
Trinity, like Mia said, Trinity and Jordan Grace at Hard to Kill is another one. Definitely.
Absolutely, Mia. That's yeah. That was a hell of a match. And like again, Trinity, someone who came in I didn't really know a lot about, but what a star.
Yeah.
What a star. They've come in and it's almost like some people said they get sent to TNA to hone their skills and then they go back being better than they were. With this working relationship that we've got with WWE, I'm not even offended by that. If we're going to get WWE stars coming to us and we're going to, generate something from it and stuff like that, then keep doing it. Keep doing it. Do you know what I mean?
People say it's dead. They do realize that they are moving everything over to Netflix now, so they've got other things to prioritize first. Just because talent's not coming over now over Christmas and all that doesn't mean it's dead in the water.
I mean, even though WWE in present day is going on to Netflix and they're saying they're getting rid of the PG-13 thing, like, what are they going to do? They're going to get Pentagon cutting someone's head off? I called it now, like, if that does actually happen. Do you know what I mean?
No, Triple H just said that they're not going to push it to some extreme, stupid thing. That they're going to keep it as it is. And so
that means they will. Like, don't ever believe what Triple H says. It's going to be minging. It's good. Like, if no one's in Terrifier, it's going to be that level, I reckon. So if it isn't, then they should do. But even that said, like with Triple H saying, "Oh, we're not going to push it too far," blah blah blah, etc. etc. Nothing will ever be like the Abyss versus Sabu barbed wire match. Yeah. Nothing. In all, well, I say in all of wrestling, in all of televised wrestling, I don't think anything will ever be on that level. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. That was horrible. That was really hard to watch.
Oh man, honestly, don't get me wrong, hard to watch, but I love that sort of thing. Like,
I do.
I am a secret GCW fan. Nick Gage and all those lot. I do rate it. Because the ultra violence and the glass and the barbed wire and stuff like that. It's crazy to watch, But it's the sacrifice that you got to remember that these people are putting
Yeah.
their bodies through. You wouldn't catch me doing it. Do you know what I mean? I get, I turn into a ghost if you ask me to prick my finger for a blood test. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I've got nothing but respect for those talents out there who put their lives and their well-being on the line. Do you know what I mean? But
Definitely.
but yeah, like I think we've pretty much covered everything. We've covered all the matches from Final Resolution. We've got like there's just so much going on. Like
Yeah.
there is so much going on with TNA right now and stuff. But I might add that we have been going for over an hour and 15 minutes, so it's probably best we get on with it. And just let everyone know that that's all we have time for this week, guys. But if you do want to show your support for the TNI UK team, then please feel free to super sticker us or head over to Bro Wrestling Tees Total Nonstop Impact for some great shirts, or head over to our exclusive exclusive Spreadshirt merch stores. Links are, of course, below. All TNI shows are available to all of you to listen to on the go as audio only via SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, and wherever you listen to your favourite shows. Where can we find you on the socials? Joe, I love this bit.
Oh yes, you can try not to really laugh now. Oh god, here we go. You can find me on on and Twitter at JK empty space. Then he called it X. Don't want to give Elon Musk his flowers. Fuck that. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at JK empty space. You can look for hashtag empty space, hashtag enter the void, or hashtag daily giggle on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. But approach with an open mind, and you just might keep your sanity.
Sanity. Brilliant. Myself, you can catch me as LimpstarUK on Facebook. Where else am I? Instagram. What else is there? You can type it in on SoundCloud actually, and you might like hear some weird stuff. If you like your rave music, I typed it in myself the other day. Not all the Limpstar thing on there is me. There's some real absolute crap on there. That's just my way of denying it, I suppose. But yeah, a couple of my mixes are on there and bootlegs and stuff like that. So if you are feeling brave, go and give it a listen to. Especially if you are on the go and you go to the gym or something like that. That'd be brilliant. You can also follow Total Nonstop Impact on socials at We Talk Impact. You can of course follow our usual host, the Bison, on Lord Bison at Lord Bison 45. He's got TikTok as well, Bison by Design, which he's uploading daily, and he's going on like a health journey at the moment as well, isn't he?
Yeah,
So, that's pretty cool. But yeah, please do check out Bison and give him a follow and stuff like that, because and also you've got Bison Talks as well, which is where I originally discovered TNI UK, because Bison has many interviews with some of our favourite Impact TNA stars. So it's always worth, just jumping in there and having a little look. But yeah, please take the time to help us out moving up the rankings on YouTube by giving us a thumbs up. And if you're new to us and you like what you see, then please consider hitting that subscribe button. And don't forget, we're going to do this, Joe.
yeah,
We're going to do this. Don't forget to give us, I've got to have a little look, mate. Give the bell a tickle, a squeeze, or a smash. And never miss any of the TNI UK or US teams' great TNA related content every week. With all of that said, I'm not Bison, I'm Limpstar, and that's Joker. But this has been episode 211 of Impacted. Have yourselves a great Christmas and everything from myself and Joe and Bison, of course, and take care, everyone. See you later.
Happy Christmas, guys. Take care.
See you later, guys.